And in addition, we were trying to strengthen relationships between home and school. So because the first one was so successful, we're looking forward to planning several more of these in the near future, and we'll be advertising information about that soon. And lastly, the superintendent, as well as myself and my colleagues, would like to acknowledge that this is the final week for our high school principal, Jorge Diaz, who, after 10 years of service to the students of New Brunswick, is moving on to assume the superintendency of another district. But we'd like to recognize that the work that he did at Roosevelt and here at the high school was extraordinary and commendable, and we wish him very good luck in the future. So thank you. That concludes the superintendent's report.
We need a motion.
So moved. Second. Excuse me 1 second. Mr. Hush. Mr. Ortiz. Yes. Mrs. Chikaitis.
Yes.
Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
We're still continuing the construction on the Paul Robeson School. In January, we are planning a steel beam signing with the students. At this time, there are no major issues with the construction. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Mr. Benito Ortiz with the Policy Committee report.
Yes, Madam President. We have one revision of Policy 8505, which is the wellness policy, nutrient standards for meals and other foods. I need a motion to accept policy on first reading.
Second.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Mrs. Chikaitis.
Yes.
Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mrs. Sealy.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Is that it? The Athletic Committee report. Since Mr. Hush is not here, do you know if we have the reconciliations?
Yes, Madam President.
Okay.
The end of the fall season, football and volleyball. In football, this was our first year competing in the red division, which is the top division in the county. This is also the second year in a row that the Brunswick High School qualified for the state playoffs. The following players made all division and all area players: German Pimentel, Curtis Revon, Cadis Remar, Bree, Jeffrey Seawright, and Dylan Johnson. Kedar Remus also made first team all-conference. Cadis Reams received the MVP award. Most improved award went to Curtis Revon, and coach's award went to German Pimentel, and captain certificate German Pimentel. The soccer postseason honors the first round, 12-5-1. William Rojas, Calvin Ortiz, all division, all county first team. New Brunswick soccer was ranked third team in the county. Also to be recognized is that Michael Mitchell, the bowling and tennis coach, received the honors of coach for the state of New Jersey, years of service. He is a former 1988 New Brunswick alumni, and also a teacher in our district. Ms. Seward, excuse me. This concludes my report. I need an approval on the reconciliation.
So moved.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Mrs. Shikaitis?
Yes.
Ms. Solis?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Ms. Varela? Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. The Curriculum Committee report.
Yes, Madam President. The Curriculum Committee met on December 5th. We had a presentation by Ms. Barbie Siegel, Director of Guidance, on the graduation rate and graduation pathway survey. Bottom line to the survey is that we're showing an uptrend. In the 2014 school year, we had a 59.10% graduation rate, and right now we're looking at 2016 at 69.5. So you can see we're going the right direction. That's the 4-year plan, and the 5-year plan we started at 60.5, and we're looking at an upswing of 73%. So hopefully we can continue that trend, and 2017-2018 school year, we'll see if that keeps going up. We also had approval of the early childhood education one, which is part of the resolution packet. We talked about the update on the proposed changes to the advanced manufacturing program. A couple of months ago, I mentioned that we were looking to have a 6-year program in the school district where our kids could be here 6 years and get an associate's degree and possibly get to NJIT. That has changed. The original program stated that students would earn their high school diploma during the first 4 years. Students would earn an associate's degree after an additional 2 years through a partnership with TESU. Students would have the opportunity to earn professional endorsements. Students would have the opportunity to participate in mentoring and internship activities, and students who completed the 6-year program with an average of B or better would be guaranteed admission to NJIT's bachelor's program. That's what we had proposed back then. Why is there a change? The change basically is because leadership. So in the educational, in the statewide, which dried up the funds that we were promised to have by the New Jersey Department of Education, so we're no longer available to us. So now the new proposed change to the advanced manufacturing program is it becomes a 4-year program. While working towards high school diploma, students would also earn dual college credits through both the MCC Scholars Program and the MJIT Options Program. Students would take some of their electives through Project Lead the Way, which has designed a number of high-quality manufacturing-related courses for high school students. And what we will retain from what we proposed last time is that students would still have the opportunity to earn professional endorsements, and students would still have the opportunity to participate in mentoring and internship activities, and students would still receive preferential consideration by NJIT if they choose to apply these after completing this program. That's basically it on the update, and that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. The Public Relations Committee report will be given by Mrs. Diana Solis.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, I'd like to report on the New Brunswick Public Schools Aspiring Leaders Program. The New Brunswick Aspiring Leaders Program is a voluntary program that seeks to develop a leadership pipeline within the school district that will cultivate the leadership qualities of teachers, supervisors, and vice principals who aspire to take the next step in their educational careers. Principals have already submitted nominations about the teachers they are acknowledging for this nomination. The teachers have been selected and will need to follow up with an application process. I'd also like to mention the superintendent's parent learning night. Although Dr. Enzel already mentioned it, I just want to acknowledge the fact that, Madam President, you were there. It was a very successful evening at Roosevelt School, and we look forward to having more nights like this at all of our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. The Educational Services Commission of New Jersey report. Mr. Derek Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam President. In addition to the transportation and special needs education, one of the areas that the Commission has been meeting on is something called CBI, Community-Based Instruction. And the focus is on really allowing young people, and New Brunswick is one of the largest consumers of the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Services, is to help some of the young people develop job skills. Some people may or may not know that the students age out because of the federal law at age 21. So the goal is to prepare them for careers afterwards, and actually making a lot of great inroads. And a lot of major corporations are opening up jobs for students who are on the autism spectrum, who are dealing with emotional challenges, who are multiply disabled. So it's actually a wonderful program, and you'll hear some more about it, but we're looking for some additional partners to really help some of the students from New Brunswick and others to really be gainfully employed for the rest of their life. So we're very, very excited about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Well, this evening is a special time of years, the end of the year, a holiday season. We want to thank all of you for all you do every day, working with the students of New Brunswick. Excuse me. We recognize it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. At this time, we'll move on to public comments.
Evening, members of the board, members of the public. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here in New Brunswick. I'm also a resident, and sorry I don't have copies of our latest issue, but you can get it for free around town. I have just a couple questions I wanted to ask. First of all, for the progress update on the $2 million settlement with the former nurse at Livingston School. I've asked now 2 meetings in a row, and I've been told
Excuse me,
that...
let me answer your question.
Certainly.
Thank you.
That case was settled by the insurance company for the board. It was a unique allegations of failure to accommodate a teacher, or a professional, I should say, wasn't a teacher. The board denied liability, still denies it, but the settlement was articulated and fostered by our insurance company, and they felt it was in the best interest to settle it. So that's a summary of the settlement of that lawsuit.
Can you tell me, has the district made any changes as a result of the allegations brought by this former employee?
Well, two things happened. One, the people who were sued in that lawsuit are no longer in the district. That's number one, meaning the supervisors that allegedly did not perform up to the standard of the state and federal statutes. However, the district denied that and said they were compliant, but going forward, we have a new HR director, we have new policies on the issue of employee and teacher professionals accommodations with respect to any disabilities they may have. So going forward, I don't think you'll see a repeat of that.
I really hope not. That was really kind of shocking when I heard in that case. And I guess I'm glad that Superintendent Kaplan is no longer the superintendent, because it seems like he was really, the buck stopped with him in this case, and it's now cost taxpayers in New Jersey $2 million.
Not the taxpayers, sir. I said the insurance company paid the claim.
And which insurance company is that?
School boards?
Right, at the school board's JIF, right? It's a JIF.
Yep. What do you mean, yep?
A JIF would be a joint insurance fund, right?
No, it's not. No,
It's not
it's
a
a regular private insurance company. They charge us premiums, and we pay them, and if there are claims, they defend them, and if appropriate, they settle them and pay them.
So there will be no taxpayer funds used to settle this case? None of the
Well, there was some deductible, but not much.
Well, how much?
$50,000.
Okay. So the private insurance company, who's no longer the insurer, is going to pay the rest.
So I don't know. When a claim is made, it depends upon what insurance company was there. We now have the JIF,
Right.
which is a joint insurance fund.
Right. So
Even then, they charge premiums and have an actuary, and it's not taxpayers' dollars in a sense. The premiums are, but not the payment of claims. They're set up like an insurance company is. They collect premiums, they invest them, they have actuaries, they have reserves, they have excess insurance for large claims. So it's a different thing. But our school board's insurance that was in effect at the time of that claim is just like any other insurance company, Allstate, Geico, NJM, anyone. That's school boards is the name of it, but it's a private insurance company.
Understood. Thank you for educating me. Can you tell me does this case have anything to do with the reason that this insurer is no longer the insurer for the board?
No, it had nothing to do with that. We chose to leave. They didn't choose to leave us. I think they'd still be here. They like collecting premiums, but our business administrator was of the opinion that the JIF, the Joint Insurance Fund, would save the district money and recommended we switch. And we could switch back if we want to. It depends. Whatever is the best deal for the taxpayers by way of insurance premiums, our business administrator sees to it that we do.
Thank you for the answer. And can you tell me, is the board happy with the new insurer, the JIF?
It's relatively new. I mean, you heard of the yes. I mean, when claims come in, they usually come to his office, forward to my office, forward to the insurance company. And that's where we are. So it's relatively new.
Thank you for the answers on that matter. And I do want to ask about another matter. For a status update on the case Norberto Diaz versus the board. That's another civil lawsuit filed by a former employee. What can you tell me about that case?
I think it was settled, forget the amount, like $150,000
Okay.
by the insurance company. Again, I think it was school boards through the attorney. But you might, I want to point out that those are two cases that did settle, one of them for a substantial amount of money, but we have a lot of claims brought against the district, and I can honestly say under Superintendent Kaplan, since you did bring up his name, and by the way, liability was denied by him, and we never admitted any wrongdoing, nor do we up until today, but you should know a lot of claims were brought. 2 or 3 cases went to jury trial, and the board was vindicated. We won the cases. So those are not mentioned in your dialogue, but you should know that. There were 3 discrimination cases tried to conclusion, which the district won each and every one of them.
Be happy to learn more about them. Can you tell me who the plaintiffs were in those 3 cases?
One was the late Fred Brown. The other one was a principal. I think he's still in the district. I don't know. Well, it's a public record. His name was Goodstein. We won that case. There's another one, but it doesn't come to my head. But those are 3 that I know were tried to conclusion and we won. Oh, who's the gentleman at the New Lord Sterling School? I did refresh my recollection. Delphonse Bruno. That case was tried to conclusion. We won that one.
new principal for New Brunswick High School will be Mr. Ken Redler.
Ken Redler taking over January 1st. Oh, he's already there. Okay. When did that take effect? Could I just get the date? November.
I think it was November.
Okay, good enough. Thank you. And are there any other changes happening with the principals or the administration this going into January? No, that's the only one.
I think you have exceeded your time.
Could you just answer my final question in the spirit of the holidays? No, that's the
Those are
treatment.
personnel issues, and we do not openly discuss personnel issues.
So the public's not entitled to know if there's going to be changes to the principals in the district? That's a secret.
It's not a secret.
You just said you won't tell us.
I said I'm not discussing personnel issues, and you have exceeded your time.
Respectfully, could you just please answer my question? It's very simple. Are there going to be any other changes to the administration within the year?
You're out of order now, please.
Order.
Wow.
This is not how a public board should treat members of the public. I didn't have to come here tonight. I came here because I want to inform and educate the people of Brunswick about what this board does.
Please stand
And
up.
apparently, the answer is not.
Yes, Nancy.
So,
Stand
I
up.
wish you a happy holiday. I wish you better luck in the next year with being responsible to the public. Thank you.
Georgia, I guess you can't see me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Ms. Seawood, I just want to thank you for your comments about the staff. I agree with you. I think that we have a very dedicated, professional staff in New Brunswick. And I just want to thank you for recognizing them publicly and for acknowledging them. So thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great holiday.
Yeah, consent agenda. We'll move on to the consent agenda. I need a motion. Mr. General?
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Excuse me. Mrs. Shikaitis.
Yes, I abstain on items A and D.
So noted. Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer. Yes. Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. General. The Finance Committee report will be presented by Mr. Spencer.
Thank you, Madam President.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Mr. Spencer. Mr. General will present the Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Mrs. So, the finance report, what I'd like to point out on your finance report is that we have undergone our annual audit by Samuel Klein and Company, and in that audit, we have 3 recommendations for corrective action. The first recommendation for corrective action is regarding the student activity accounts, and I'm sure the principals that are here are going to be very happy to hear this one. The condition is that all schools maintain better records as it relates to class trips. So the corrective action will be that the district and school administration will implement the procedure for documenting the students who attend the field trips and who pays for the field trips. So generally, the auditor is looking for us to have a list exactly of if 40 kids attended the field trip, that we raise the money from those 40 children and that those 40s are paid for. None of us are looking. In many instances, what happens is A child may not have the funds to go. Those monies are used from the general monies that we have in the student activity account, but they just want us to better document those events. The second recommendation is that the Lord Sterling School opened an office account in 2005, and it's undetermined if it's a student-related account. So basically, in layman terms, this Lord Sterling School opened up what I believe is a sunshine account, where the parent, the staff members raise money and put that in the account, and they can buy things. So I need to talk to Dr. Cabrera to look into that, because we need to ensure that the purpose of that account is only student-related. You can open a sunshine account where teachers raise money, but you really have to document exactly where that money comes from. So, and that it was raised from staff, and that none of the money was raised from any student-related fundraising. And then the third recommendation is that the food service account net cash resources exceed 3 months' average expenditures. So the district will formulate a plan to reduce those net cash resources. So among that is the corrective actions for the audit, and you also have your October 2016 finance report and your bills list for the month of December. Thank you.
We need a motion to approve the Finance Committee report. Roll call.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis.
Yes, I abstain on page 19.
So noted. Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes, but abstain on page 5 and 15.
Did you say 15?
Yeah, 5 and 15.
Thank you. Ms. Varela. Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes, abstain on
So noted. Motion approved.
Thank you, Mr. General. Resolution for closed session. Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10, Chapter 4 through 6 first provides that certain matters of a public body may be discussed in closed session, whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as following. 1, personnel matters. 2, matters of attorney-client privilege. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the aforesaid subjects shall be discussed in closed session by this Board of Education and administrative staff, and the minutes of said closed session discussion will be made available to the public when the reasons for the non-disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act no longer exist. May I have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis.
Yes.
Ms. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela. Mr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Thank you.